I was responsible for constitutional policy at the Ministry of Justice for 3.5 years of my 20 years as a senior public servant. And today I give you the free and frank advice I would give you if I held that position today. In my view, both sides of this debate raise legitimate issues. Those who support this bill are correct that Te Tiriti tests the principle of equality in a democracy significantly. Should one group of people in this country, acting as a collective, have decision rights over what happens in regard to major policy issues that others do not? Should one person receive a public benefit because of their ethnicity that their neighbour who is equally disadvantaged does not? So much blood was shed by the disempowered to establish the right to fundamental equality at law of each of us. However imperfectly the principle of equality is realised, we do not compromise on it lightly. But those who oppose this bill have legitimate concerns also. Whatever the exact meaning of Te Tiriti, we can be all but certain its essence was Māori would be able to continue living as Māori as long as they wished, and that there was no way tangata whenua should be worse off than Pākehā almost 200 years after Te Tiriti was signed. But these things have not happened, so something needs to be done. Disproportionality tackled, the ability to self-determine strengthened. But this bill all but scrubs out of our constitution any recognition of these unique features of our country. Both sides are also in error on critical points. Those who support this bill are wrong if they think a referendum will resolve this. Constitutions are the rules of the game. They're not the rugby ball. They are changed by careful deliberation, not by one side scoring a try only for the other to respond in kind. If a majority of citizens voted in favour of this bill in a referendum, and yet a majority of Māori voted against it, it would be a devastating blow to the soul of this country. Equally, those opposed to this bill are in error when they say matters Te Tiriti are matters for the courts and public bodies to decide. Constitutions, whether we like it or not, only have effect if they are supported by the vast majority of a polity, including, I stress, the vast majority of minority populations. It is rightfully the place of Parliament, the people and its various peoples, to resolve the sorts of issues both sides are raising. So where do we go from here? These issues are too big to go away, and so much is at stake that Kiwi pragmatism will no longer help. We have to face up to the issues, and that requires leadership, not politics, but you are the closest thing we have to leaders. So it is your job to take our politics to a higher ground, to be our leaders, not faction fighters. To do this, you must initiate a good faith and considered conversation among us all, including between the Crown and iwi, about how we best address the hard and legitimate issues involved, recognising that one side is not virtue itself and the other evil incarnate. You must do this so that we can wake up on 6 January 2040 and know that we are living in a justly constituted land where all children can thrive, so that we can celebrate that together. If you can do that, maybe we can look back on you as heroes and not just another set of politicians who spent their time saying, I am right, you are wrong, and never actually work together to resolve the big issues we face. I hope you take up this challenge. If you do not, I fear this land will not be a happy place come 2040. And if not even this precious country can sort out its problems, who are we to expect the rest of the world to do so? Thank you.
Clearly a well-trained public servant, because that is exactly 5 minutes.
Thank you. 600 words, I recognised.
Thank you for your submission, and thank you for your written submission. We don't have time for questions.